Lovely. Welcome, Kate. So today is all about the sacral chakra. And before we dive into the juiciness of this energy center, I just wanted to pause and check in again with everyone who moved through yesterday's practice with us. So I just asked everyone to kind of check in the chat. I'm seeing that we feel a little tired and excited. So valid, honoring that, welcoming that here. Woke up peaceful and relaxed. Awesome. Welcoming that, honoring that, celebrating that. And I wanted to just share that every time I do this chakra cleanse, I like knowing that that this is on my calendar, that it's like in the future, my system already like syncs up to hold this space, not just for all of you, but for in my own system as well. So I feel like I've been on this detox and this cleanse for a few days before we all started. And yesterday, the root chakra brought up a lot for me. Not gonna lie. I feel like it's the one that I've been focused on the most in my season of healing and in my journey right now. So much in my relationship with food and with money and home environment. So practicing that and opening that up and really allowing a cleanse to move through that yesterday was a little rattling to my system, but I woke up feeling really grounded this morning, like a sense of grounding that I haven't felt in a really long time. So really cool to even just experience, right? Like after just a moment of practice of us gathering together, connecting energy, all really syncing up, setting intention. It was really helpful for me to come back to that intention as well, which I shared with all of you. Bigger intention that I have for this space this week is to help you really just explore all of these energies and just really embody these energies, practice experiencing the sensation of the root, of the sacral, of all of the other chakras that we're going to be moving through together. So you just get to get familiar and build this relationship with these different centers of the body, because ultimately, as I mentioned yesterday, these energy centers are what is storing all of the different programming in our systems. And so when we get to tap into this energy, open it and allow it to cleanse and release, we're really doing a lot of beautiful, beautiful work, and we're bringing it into the restorative practice. So we're doing it in a lot of stillness, but we never underestimate stillness. There's so much power in what really happens in this practice, in meditation, in visualization, in these like quieter, slower modalities. They're still so potent and powerful. So excited that you're already experiencing that. I was looking at my DMs and just hearing from a few of you as well of just what that experience was like. I think collectively we're moving through such a period of time that the collective root chakra is really going through a healing. So it's not surprising that a lot of us do really feel this like restlessness, this fatigue, this exhaustion. It makes a lot of sense. So just a reminder to keep connecting to that earth energy and adding that in, squeezing that in to your day-to-day so that it can support you. All of the chakras are here to support you, and they really come back to each different element, which is really cool, because when we tap into the elements, we really can access a lot of energy within ourselves and around us. So yesterday, working with the root was all about the earth energy. Today, we're going to shift into energy with the sacral chakra, and the sacral is this like it's water energy. The element is water. So we're going to really feel this like flowy, fluid, very like nurturing, mothering, feminine energy. Whereas yesterday was a very like structured, grounding, masculine energy. So we'll get to really play with different energies. Now, like I mentioned yesterday, the vibe is going to just really shift. So you're going to get to experience all of these different sensations in your body and come back to really, really letting them be support to you along your journey and along your self-care. So we're going to shift into tonight. Also, I wanted to just check in. Are we getting, I have scheduled reminder emails to go out an hour before these calls. Are we getting them? I didn't see one hit my inbox today. So I'm just like, did we get that? No? All right, I have to check because I send out the morning email, and then I do have another just reminder email for everybody an hour before the call. So I'll check on that, but I wanted to just check in with everybody here. No worries at all. All righty. You got the morning recap one. Okay, cool. That's all that matters. We're like in today's energy already, the sacral. We're letting it flow. So this energy is all about really flexibility, change, and moving with emotion, creativity, pleasure, all the juicy things. So let's tap in. Let's go ahead and just close our eyes to really just tune into this energy, activate this energy within us. So wherever you are, you can just close your eyes and sit up tall, align your spine. And then go ahead, I invite you to place your hands right at your low belly at your sacral chakra. So it's the point right below your navel. So you can just place your hands on your sacral, closing your eyes down. Take a full breath in, just breathe into the sacral. Maybe you feel the expansion of the low belly as you breathe in. Hold that breath at the top and just pause. Just constrict that breath for just a moment longer. And then open mouth, exhale, breathe out all the way through to empty. And then go ahead, breathe back into the belly. Let the belly expand. Full breath in. Fuller, fuller, fuller. And then pause at the top. Hold just for a moment longer. And then breathe out, exhale, let out all the stale air, all the stagnant energy. Release the hips. Find your empty. Hold the empty. Beautiful. And then breathe back into the belly. Fill all the way up. Hold that breath. One last time here. Hold, hold, hold. Open mouth, exhale, release. Let it all flow out and down through the body, out through the sacral. Relax the hips with your exhale. Soften, release, find your empty. Keep the hands on the belly, on your sacral, and then just continue to breathe fluidly in and out through the nose. Inviting in your intention that you're setting for this week. Inviting it back into the body, calling all of your energy, all of your sacral energy back home into the body, into your sacral. Having that intention is more than enough. Just breathing in the energy, letting it land as you exhale, watching that energy just land and relax into your low belly, and then just continue to breathe with that energy at the low belly. Imagine an orange light sitting at your sacral, just nourishing and supporting your sacral. As you soften the hips and continue to breathe with this orange light, just start to tap into sensation, a flow within you. And this juicy, pleasurable energy, this creativity, this emotion, this sense of nurturing, and this mother-like energy that all exists within all of us. So just let that arrive and show you what that feels like. So without using the mind, and if you feel like the mind's getting in the way, just say hello to the mind, breathe into the mind as you exhale, breathe out of the mind, breathe back down into the body, let that breath digest fully in the belly. So that just takes practice, and that's more than okay. So just spend a few more breaths, really returning into the body, feeling the warmth at the low belly as you breathe, and that envisioning that orange light. Let that energy just really show you what that feels like, that flow. Maybe you sway a little bit side to side. Take another breath in, breathe out. And when you're ready and feeling connected to that space, just slowly go ahead and blink open the eyes. Coming back into our space, our little circle here, our little Zoom room. Alrighty. How did that feel? Drop a few words into the chat. Even if you don't really know much about the sacral, like what did the body show you? What did your sacral already bring up for you? There's no right or wrong either. Can you visualize? Like, I'm curious if you were able to visualize the color orange, and if that, how that shows up for you. You saw the orange light. Cool. Knowing too, I think it takes practice to see light color, color of light. And some people are very sensitive to it, so can see it really easily. Some people can't access it. It's like nothing wrong with you. It's just that's your own unique experience. So I'm really just honoring wherever you are and what comes up for you. Yeah, like you had a hard time with the orange. And then I mentioned warmth, and then that turned it on for you. So see, that's like really cool. Orange light is like a warm fire. Yeah, like I think of like sunset, like a sunset warmth and release. Yeah, cool. Okay, that's exactly what we're working with today. So I like to kind of just activate that center as we drop in and arrive and allow you to really experience it in the body first without like cognitively in the mind, me like explaining to you where we're going. And then as we go, we'll now kind of drop back in and we'll move through a little bit more of education, like what just was that? And then we'll land it back into the body again. So just let it be an experiment for you and just be open to really experiencing it. Alrighty, I'm really excited to talk about the sacral chakra tonight. This it's the juicy one and everything that a lot of my branding with all the lemons and the squeeze the day, it's like that's really what this energy center is this like zest for life and this pleasure and enjoyment that we humans are here to really experience and live fully and like full expression, full emotional expression. So creative expression, emotional expression, expression of like who we truly are, like maybe our sexuality, right? All of those things are present in this energy center or what we're talking about in this energy center. And like I mentioned, the element here is water. So it's this element of like flow of this feminine energy. The seat of the feminine really is here in the sacral chakra. And there's a lot of wisdom to really tap into here because our emotions carry so much wisdom. So we really tend to work with the hips a lot, like the part of the body or the structure of the body that we work with when we think of the sacral, think of the hips, the reproductive region of the body. Whereas yesterday with the root, we worked with like below the hips. So like our legs and our feet, everything, like the root of our being. We're now in the hip region of our being, if you will. So this is the second chakra, the sacral chakra. This energy center really informs you how to relate to your emotions and the emotion of others. So it's the relationship that we have to our feelings that we tap into here. It governs creativity, sexual energy, and when it's balanced, the sacral chakra really allows you to have this passionate, creative, sensual connection with your feelings, your emotions, and with others and life itself. So you see like life as very vibrant. When the sacral chakra is out of alignment or bound, the energy is constricted here. Issues with the reproductive system might show up, including menstrual cramps or any symptoms of PMS. UTIs are here, or maybe this like higher increase or lower increase to sexual desire or interest. Lower back pain also exists here. So that's kind of the region, the lower abdomen that we're working with here. Not so much at the upper belly, that's the solar plexus. So below the navel, below the belly button. The mantra here is I feel. So we're really tapping into this emotional energy, this water-like energy that we all carry within us. Color is orange. The element, like I mentioned, is water. And if you're working with crystals, any type of orange crystal, if you're working with essential oils like wild orange, any type of sweet citrus blend of oil really supports the sacral. I had someone guide me once to use wild orange essential oil, like rub it on my low belly if I had cramps. I thought that was a cool way to use an essential oil. And the restorative yoga pose that we'll practice in a little bit is this supported bound angle pose. So we'll be doing like a butterfly shape with the legs and finding rest and support in the body. So again, this hip region, we're really going to open the hips and allow the hips to relax and release. A lot of us, when we carry tension and stress, especially females, we hold a lot in our hips. I'm sure you've been to a yoga class where your teacher has told you that it's all stored there. We really do store a lot, especially as, you know, females who can carry children and bear children. Our hips are really powerful in all that they can really support. Like, we are the beings that support life. So there's so much that really can be connected to and reawakened in the sacral, which is really cool. And then, like I mentioned yesterday, each of these energy centers is really going to tap into like a time in your life or a stage of development. So sacral develops right after the root. So in about your younger years, like 8 to 14 years old, that's kind of the age range that we're working with when we start to really store things in the sacral and things move through the sacral. I know that was a lot. If all of that's new to you, that's okay. Just take a moment and really like pick what resonates and like take it with you. And then just for the moment, let it all, everything else can just go. We don't need to like be memorizing things here this week. I really want you to just practice letting the body tell you what to pick and choose to practice and take with you. It's not all meant to resonate. I just like said that and my hips relaxed and released. So really, truly know that the body is just trying to give you signals at all times. So let yourself just continue to pay attention to what's happening in the hips as we move through all of the things tonight. Do we have any questions about the sacral so far? So if you're balanced in your sacral, you're feeling this like joy, this pleasure, compassion, creativity. You're very forgiving, gentle, fertile, sensual, open, honest. Other things for healing, we can really tap into, again, just like sound. So we'll use the sound, the sacral chakra sound in practice tonight. Spending time in water and working with water is also, you know, something really, really supportive for the sacral. Taking baths, it's probably like the top sacral self-care that I choose, is taking baths. Also, we mentioned yesterday astrology a little bit. So if you have a lot of water in your chart, you might feel more connected to this energy. Living by the water, being by the water, any body of water, drinking water, right? Our bodies are made up of mostly water. So we really, really, when we connect to sacral energy, it really does feel when we are in presence with sacral energy, the most like us, right? Like think about being in a bath in a body of water, like warm water. How nurturing and how held do you feel, right? All right, if we don't have any questions, we will shift into our journal work. So I'm going to redrop the journal into the chats. If you're not receiving the reminder emails, that has the workbook link every night. So I'm going to really make sure that that's scheduled for the rest of the week. But go ahead and open up the workbook. And then you're going to move to the second page this evening. So our sacral chakra. These are going to be the prompts that we're going to spend and dive a little bit deeper into with yourself. So you're going to really connect with this energy on a deeper level over the next like 8 minutes or so, and move through this energy. So really tapping into checking in with creativity, desires, individuality, sexuality, flow, emotions, pleasure, change. Before we do that, I want to just check in. We did this yesterday and I really liked that we practiced this. I want you to really just like, after hearing all of that, if you could in this moment, before we dive into the journaling and we move through the body in restorative, 0 to 10, I want you to think about how balanced or imbalanced does the sacral energy feel within you right now. So if 0 is imbalanced and 10 is balanced, where does your sacral really feel right now? Does it feel really balanced and open? Does it feel really imbalanced and like, you know, bound? I also am very careful with the words that I use around moving through the chakras, I think I hear, like, we hear like the word blocked a lot. I don't think it's wrong to say blocks, but I think we get very attached to the word that is blocked and we make a lot of meaning out of it. And it's like, oh, I can't access something, right? I like to really just say that energy is bound. So there's nothing wrong with energy being bound. There's nothing wrong with energy being blocked. It's just information. So whatever resonates with you, I just wanted that to share that invitation that it doesn't mean anything's wrong if any energy center is feeling imbalanced. It's the body giving you information of where it needs more of something and what it needs more of. Okay, so I'm seeing a 2, 4, 5, 5, 3. Okay, yeah. I feel like something is trying to break out of my sacral somehow. Maybe need to release something. Cool. Let's find out. Let's be open to maybe seeing what that is. That's like so valid. It makes so much sense. I'm always finding that things are trying to like quite literally break out of my sacral. Like it's emotional release, crying, like again, water makes a lot of sense. So yeah, if you have low belly pain, that might be an indicator. So these symptoms too, I also don't want us to attach to these symptoms. Symptoms in the body, again, are information that are trying to guide us to where to focus on. So I think a lot of times on a healing and health journey, right, we have a relationship with what is not working properly in our bodies, which is really valid. And it's frustrating. It's like, it's that struggle for us. It's like why we're on the path. It's like this thing, right? And so I also give you the invitation throughout this week to be open to a different relationship with whatever it is that is going on in your body that you are trying to quote unquote like figure out right now. So that part of your body has a message for you, is carrying information, is waving its hand and saying, look at me over here, like something's going on here that needs your attention. So when we look at it through that lens, there's just this more openness, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's scary, like that's all allowed. There's just a different energy to approach the body than to really attach that something's wrong, something's blocked, like something's not working right. Like your body is already doing so much. So I love really journeying through the chakras again, because it reminds me of how much my body is already doing, even if I'm just sitting like in meditation or moving slowly. It's like the body does so much on its own, like without our conscious direction. So shifting into the sacral chakra journal prompts, I invite you just to open your journal, and if you haven't already, begin there. I'll play some music for us. If you have any questions at all that come up, just feel free to drop them in the chat as we go. I'll give you about 5 minutes here.
In slow motion, can't hide the way I feel for you. Wanna know what this is, 'cause it's all I care about. I'm doing somersaults when you call me by my name, and it's so easy when I try. What I'm thinking of is it haunting you, and it's a physical emotion with you, and it's a physical emotion with you, 'cause it's a deep emotion, 'cause it's a deep emotion. It's a physical emotion with you. this love on the west coast, when the time just slips away, and 10 years went by so fast. It never works out how we wanted to. I'm holding my breath as the seasons change. Who is this man in the mirror? And it's so easy in my mind. What I'm thinking of, is it haunting you? And it's a physical emotion with you. And it's a physical emotion with you. 'Cause it's a deep emotion. 'Cause it's a deep emotion. And it's a physical emotion with you. Memories of you, memories of you, locked away. Memories of you, and it's a physical emotion. It's a physical emotion. It's a physical emotion. It's a physical emotion.
About one more minute. And if you would like to share just maybe any insights that may be already popping up, anything kind of like light bulbs just from answering these questions. These are also questions to just kind of take with you and contemplate, check in with. And then maybe like after answering these, does your number change or shift at all? Maybe it goes lower. That's okay too. This is definitely a big one. I think, feelings and emotions change, creative expression. This is really like this inner child energy of joy. We enter adulthood and life gets lifey. Like this is the energy that tends to just kind of, fade. We forget to tap into. So in terms of self-care, we can kind of speak to self-care a little bit. Oh, I see a share. I feel like every time I do body scans, my energy is super focused, flowy there, like an infinity shape, cool, around my hips. It's the only place I can visualize my body scan. Are you saying the sacral is the only place that you can see the body scan, Kate? And you've always wondered why. You have a lot of work to do in these categories. Interesting. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I'm just curious to clarify, is what you're seeing or your hips, or you're saying the sacral is the only place you can really visualize in your body. Cool to notice, right? So like also from the lens of just like witnessing, like, that's interesting, right? These things that we notice, let's practice this week, like just really being a witness to what we're being shown and allowing the body to really digest that, not so much the mind. So talking for a moment about just like some ways again to really work with this energy and practice self-care. I really want to practice this pose this evening and hold this posture for a juicy amount of time with all of us, because I think what's really beautiful when we get to work with the hips is allow space for release, allow a cleanse, allow like whatever really needs to just move through with like in surrender without attachment. So we'll move into the shape and we'll really just allow the body to show us and to guide us and to do the work. So it really is going to be this daily practice this week of moving from the mind into the body and allowing the body to be the guide of the wisdom, of the information for then the mind to use, because the mind is a very powerful tool. So like back to Kate's share, the fact that you can visualize anything is the power of the mind, is the mind at work. So there are so many things that I think we then tend to like, say like, oh, it's me and my thoughts or me and my head, right? We need that part of ourselves too. And we want to just have space for that part to do what it's like so uniquely powered to do. So that's what we're practicing here. Alrighty, we are going to, if anyone wants to share before we shift, trying to just check in and see, did I skip anything? Yeah, do we have any questions before we drop into restorative posture? Let me know. Take these questions with you, if any of them resonated. These are all questions that you really can also then, yeah, like I mentioned, take for contemplation or take into meditation, do some deeper journaling with. So, okay. All right, we are going to open the hips. So if you want to grab your pillows, you can close your journal or just set it to the side for a moment. And you're going to take your pillows and you're going to keep them stacked long ways. And then you're going to sit the base of your spine right up against your pillows and bring your soles of the feet together. So in a butterfly shape. And then as you arrive here, I just want you to take a moment to close your eyes and really just feel into the hips. So play with the placement of the heels. Do the heels feel like they want to come closer to the body? Do they want to go further away? Take a deep breath in, lengthen your spine tall. As you exhale, find a slow roll starting at the low spine to just relax back onto your pillows. And then you're going to place your hands on your hips at your sacral. Closing the eyes, relaxing the shoulders. Take a full deep breath in and open mouth exhale. Take another full deep breath in, breathe into the hips. Open mouth, exhale. Let that exhale invite a softening into the hips. Do that again. Another breath in to the hips. Another breath out, softening the hips. And then from here, slowing down the breath. From here, slowing down the body. As we slow down the body, as we slow down the breath, we slow down the mind. And so just continue to breathe. down into your sacral, to where the water, the flow, the feminine energy exists within your being. Just breathing in and just starting to feel that ebb and flow, that water within you. Allowing a wave of calm and safety to just wash over you. Maybe you imagine yourself in a body of water, in a bath, in the ocean, in the lake, being surrounded by water, being held by water. Taking a few more breaths and just opening your sacral to receive the healing that it needs. Not needing to know what that is. Continuing to soften the sacral as you breathe. And just inviting in this openness and this willingness to receive. Receive a cleanse, receive a release. Receive deeper exhale in the area of your hips. And asking maybe the sacral and the body to show you what needs to be released. And how can you just breathe, presence, allow, accept what is present emotionally, honoring and embracing what is present emotionally, and then just allowing that to continue to flow and move through the body. So imagine the breath turning into this continual wave of water, washing away, clearing away, no longer serves you in this space of the body. Continuing to just breathe and release. Allowing the body to just show you what needs to be released, cleansed and cleared. What needs to be seen and honored and allowed. Maybe you just allow it on the inhale. Allow it to pass on the exhale. Maybe that inner dialogue as you recognize emotion sounds like, hello fear, hello anxiety. You are welcome here. So breathing in this invitation, breathing out a welcoming. So you don't need to do anything with what is present other than breathe with it. That is the release. That is the cleanse. Continuing to let this energy move through you with flow and ease in the way that it's meant to. You're doing amazing. Continue to breathe. Big open mouth, clearing exhales, softening the hips. Just checking in with yourself, checking in with what you need. And just checking in, knowing that the earth is holding you and supporting you underneath you, stabilizing you. Checking in to just really connect with that body of water. And we'll just drop into some stillness. I'll guide you out when it is time. Just continue to allow the sacral to receive the healing that it needs as you breathe. Maybe you're feeling, maybe you're dropping into just enjoying the sensation or the pleasure of rest. maybe that's foreign to you, and that's okay. Whatever you feel called to practice and be with, trust. Trust what's ever here right now is what's meant to be. Trust you don't need to heal it all in this moment or feel it all in this moment. Taking baby sips of what's present and letting it go with a deep exhale. Sending you off into stillness and silence and self-care. I will guide you out when it is time. Deepen the breath. Breathing in through the nose. Open mouth, clearing, cleansing breath out. Another deep breath in, nice and fully into the belly. Open mouth, exhale, cleansing, clearing breath out. Starting to just rub your sacral and thank your sacral. Sending love and gratitude and appreciation to your hips and all that your hips hold, all that they do to support you and carry you through life. Take a moment to send love and appreciation, gratitude to your hips. And then let your hips replenish with that love and gratitude and appreciation. Take another breath in. As you breathe out, maybe revisualizing that orange light. And just letting your sacral be fed as you say the words, I honor my needs, and I allow myself to be nourished. I honor my needs. I allow myself to be nourished. Just taking that orange light, letting it bathe your sacral, balancing, empowering, nurturing you. Take a few more deep breaths. Release and soften the hips. And then sliding your hands to your outer thighs and just closing your knees in. Maybe you want to just roll the knees into the chest. Find a nice tight ball. Rock the forehead up to the knees. Squeeze yourself. Give yourself a hug on the next inhale. And then rolling over onto your side on your exhale. Just pausing for a moment on your side. Honoring and acknowledging all that came up for you. Choosing to take with you what is of value. Choosing to let go and release and surrender what no longer is serving you. And just sending that energy back into the earth, back into the care of the universe. And then on the next breath, gently start to lift yourself back up. Nice and slowly, there's no need to rush. Coming back into a tall seat, cross-legged. Maybe you want to just take a few circles of the hips, rolls of the body. So just wherever the body kind of feels called to move, allow all of that energy to continue to flow and release. And just taking a moment, take another breath in and just really check in, tap in. So on a scale of 1 to 10, and being balanced, how does your sacral feel? So just check in with us now after practice, being in that shape. We were there for maybe, let's see, 8 minutes, a little less, 7. Any wisdom from the hips? Anyone want to share in the chat anything that's present? And again, just validating your experience, honoring you where you are, honoring all of your emotion. Not always easy to do release work. I don't think it's ever easy to do release work, but think about too, what happens when we do release work? Like what happens after a really good cathartic cry? We're able to access like this lightness, this pleasure, this juiciness, this sensation that feels really good. This like vitality comes back online. So that's like the energy that exists in the sacral is, we're like, that's what, again, this bound energy is constricted to getting us back to that full vitality, that fullness, that nourishment. There's no need to judge or shame the feelings that come up. We can practice really allowing and accepting, even if we feel judgment, even if we feel shame, right? Like allowing and inviting those parts to be a part of the journey as well. So like the hips are the region of like all is welcome here. All parts are welcome. All parts of yourself, all emotions. And it typically is where we store when we're really restricting some parts of ourselves or some feelings that we are avoiding feeling. And again, it takes a lot of bravery and courage to feel deeper things. So know that, like, again, we don't need to be forceful. This is a very like gentle energy that we're working with. So I'm seeing release and I feel like I'm open to allowing new things in. Cool. So again, when we release and we make space, yeah, we feel this openness to bring more in. Beautiful. Abundance sits here too. Tara felt emotional. Did I say that right? Tara. And then really just paying attention to and tracking like what is it that's coming up in this moment, and then sitting with that and just allowing that to be in it with you, right? So there is always this visual that I have of just like, I think it's an Elizabeth Gilbert quote of not letting these emotions or fear specifically drive the car, but inviting it into the back seat. So that's something that we can really think about here in the more emotional aspect of our healing and in our journey, is really all of these parts really get to be with you, but they're beside you. They're not like, who is choosing to make decisions right now and lead the way. Beautiful. Okay. And then, yeah, I'm curious to check in, like shifting with number, if the number has shifted for you at all. So how does your sacral feel right now in this moment? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being balanced and open. I see a 6, so we went a little higher. Lovely. Full transparency, I feel some tightness in my hips. So like notice that like it's like where you don't have to like always like fully release and then feel healed and like ready to go into the rest of your day. Like it's okay if there's still, sensation or discomfort where you are. Still trust and know that you are moving energy. There's a lot of energy to be moved through the hips, so be gentle with yourself. Okay, more sixes, 7, 6, yeah. Cool. So again, just really, really bringing that, showing the mind, okay, we have evidence now of something that we can practice that really could support us in holding presence with where we are. So really that's what we're doing, right? We're always meeting ourselves where we are, and we are holding this sensation. So that was another intention that I had, was really helping you all practice, me included, this experiencing sensation and feeling sensation and holding sensation. And so just acknowledging and honoring yourself for moving through that, for getting to the other side. So like all of these micro moments, like they deserve celebration and to be witnessed of all of the things that you're showing up for. So I'm like the biggest advocate of that. You all in this space know that. So do we have any sacral chakra questions? I'm curious if you want to drop in your favorite like self-care to work with the sacral. Is there something you're feeling called to do? Dropping into the next day and just kind of moving and shifting out of this space. Like, how do you want to stay connected to your sacral energy? How do you feel called to do that? I was just gonna say, I feel called to take a bath. Yeah, I agree. So maybe we're gonna take a bath. Maybe we're gonna drink some water or have some tea. Maybe we're gonna just like even visualize that we're there. Did anyone really connect to like being with the water? Like I can really just like take myself to like float in meditation sometimes. And then maybe like practicing like movement is really powerful and helpful for the sacral as well, is tapping back into movement. So like allowing the body to physically be flowy and flexible um, is really supportive as well. I'm really thirsty too. I have my lemon water right here. Cheers. Love it. Okay, let's see. So as we wrap up, so yeah, this is a little like intro to, or just kind of like reintroduction if you've been through this cleanse before, of the sacral. And again, like keeping it simple. So taking something with you that resonates and then just letting that be more than enough to fill you until we move to the solar plexus. And it's really a journey, an ever going journey. That's why I love to like repeat this cleanse and just like continuously move through the chakras together, because there's just so much that we can really access, and there's always layers that we really can uncover. And we also don't want to get like stuck in the journey of just always like working inward towards something. So like take with you too, like did anything really just call to you to reconnect with in terms of like pleasure and joy? Like maybe it's just squeezing in something that makes you happy in the next 24 hours. So there's so many ways to really just work with and practice this energy. So sending you all off with a really big juicy squeeze. A few reminders before we close out. I want to remind you that the accountability tracker and that tool is there for you to check off, right? You now like showed up for your sacral chakra. So if you're someone, I think all of our brains really like to just check things off, that's there for you. And then if you feel called to share that on social media, tag me and I'll celebrate you. We'll be doing giveaways this week. So if any of you share on social media, for you just showing up here live, I'm going to be tracking who is present in here, and we'll be very, very soon, wink, wink, doing a giveaway. Also, there's going to be the one-on-one link that will continue to be in the emails. I'm so excited to support and see more of you who are signing up for doing a customized clearing. Again, if something really came up for you tonight that you want deeper support with in a 30-minute session to really just move through it together, I'm happy to hold space. So know that you can add that on from through your experience this week. And that resource library will continue to be there all week too. So tonight's recap email will include an additional sacral chakra section in the resource library. So be sure to check that out every day because I'll be adding additional links to that in addition to linking the replay. And for any of you who really want to do more practice for a longer period of time, I have a few juicy retreats this year that really are tapping into all of the energy centers, and we'll be diving deeper into the chakras on all the retreats that I'll be hosting this year. So more information on that is on my website. And a few of you in the room are going to be there. So excited. A few of you in the room have already come. And I'm just so excited for those. So I love you all. And I just wanted to really just kind of close our eyes one last time together, take a final breath to really close out this space, seal in all of this juiciness. So if you can join me, close your eyes, bring your hands back down to your sacral, take a big, full and deep breath in. And an open mouth release. And with the eyes closed, you can just give yourself a smile, maybe just a little grin to really just tap into the joy, the gratitude, the pleasure, even if it's just for a moment to remind the body of this feeling and this sensation in this moment. Thanking yourself for showing up, creating this time and space, being here this week and committed to setting intention. Take another deep breath in, receive that gratitude, send it out to each other on the breath out. Smile big, and then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you all so much for being here. You make me smile and feel juicy. Loving you all so much. If you have any questions too, just feel free to email me or DM me, and I am here for you. Mwah. Sending so much love. I'll see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. for solar plexus chakra energy fire. Yay. Bye, my loves.